Hi, I'm Mel from Mel.theravengirl.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily and my channel is Eleanor reads.
Hi everyone, I'm Sasha. My channel's name is The Wild Sasha.
Hi, my name is Lily. My channel is called A Home for the Lost.
Hi friends, my name is Joel and I run the booktube channel called fictionalfates.
Hi guys, my name's Celest.
Hello everybody, my name's Jo from the channel Joannotations.
Hey guys, my name is Mollie and my YouTube channel is @mindofmollie.
Hey everyone's Chris.
Hi, my name is Star.
Hi friends, my name is Rori and I'm RoriD reads.
Hello, welcome back to part 2 of LGBTQ plus booktubers recommend to you LGBTQ plus books. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it somewhere in a card and I'll also link it below. So I definitely recommend you go and check that out, as lots of great books were recommended by lots of amazing booktubers. You're missing out if you haven't seen it, you know. I'm not recommending a book in this video as I recommended it in the last one, so you're gonna have to go and watch that if you'd like to know what book I recommended. And I hope you're excited for the next round of queer books. Also let me know if you'd like to see this sort of collab video again. I'm excited and it's been a really fun project to work on over the past few weeks. So yeah, I've really enjoyed doing it. And thank you so much to everyone that's taken part or wanted to take part. It's really meant a lot to me. It's really made me feel part of the community in a way I perhaps felt a little bit distanced from before, so I really appreciate that. And I really love talking to new and just more people within the community. Right, enough like whatever that was. Before we begin the video, I just want to also direct your attention down to the description box. As I said in the previous video, and I probably worded it a bit better in the previous video, but it's really important to be inclusive when celebrating Pride, and just always. And so with that in mind, please check out the description box because there are lots of links to where you can donate for Black Lives Matter. Don't stop talking about it just because the news has stopped talking about it. There are lots of petitions that you can sign as well, and there are videos that you can stream if you don't have the funds to donate. As well as that, I'm also linking lots of Black organisations, bookshops, Black LGBTQ+, booktubers, bloggers, content creators that have taken the time to put together Black LGBTQ+ book recommendations lists, so I highly recommend you check those out. That will all be in the description, as well as everyone that's taking part in this video. That's it from me. Just a big thank you again, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope that you find a book that you really want to read. I will hand it off to the first booktuber.
Hi, my name is Lily. I'm really new to booktube, but my channel is called A Home for the Lost, which is the same name as the blog that I run. I don't know what to say really. Jazz asked me to introduce myself, so I guess I'll say I am 21. I am just graduating from a chemistry degree. I mostly read young adult, especially fantasy, sci-fi, and a bit of contemporary, but I'm sort of moving away from contemporary these days. I just got a kitten. I don't know. Yeah, there's not much to say really. I am so new to booktube, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm also really excited to be part of this collab because I love to discover new queer books, and I really want to share and spread the love for my favourite queer graphic novel, which honestly, like, I've only ever found one other person who's read it, and I just want more people to read it because I think it's amazing. That is Dead India, The Watcher's Test by Hamish Steele. It follows Barney. Barney is trans and he's not straight. I can't really remember any of the characters' sexual identities because I don't think many of them actually say them on the page, just like none of these characters are straight. None of them. I don't think there's any straight characters in this book. But yeah, Barney is trans and he's also not straight. This is Norma, his best friend, who is also not straight, and the story is that Barney needs somewhere to live and he needs a job, so Norma gets him a job in this haunted house that she works in, but the haunted house also happens to be a portal to hell, and Barney secretly lives there as well. Norma doesn't know, but yeah. Barney is homeless, so he also secretly sleeps there without Norma's knowledge. And it's all about the story of what happens when Barney and his dog, Pugsley, discover that this is a portal to hell and other dimensions and all the shenanigans that go on. Pugsley's magic, it's great, it's just so good. It's fantasy, it's supernatural, it's super duper queer, and its own voice is queer as well, and yeah, it's incredible. I love it so much. The second book has also come out, and that's called The Broken Halo, and that was really good as well. The third book is coming at some point, I believe, but I'm not sure when. But yeah, I would highly recommend it.
everybody, my name's Jo from the channel Joannotations. I am so excited to be here on Jazz's channel to share with you in this amazing collaboration. Super excited. I can't wait to watch everyone's videos and to find out all the books from LGBTQ+ that people chose as their favourite and to discover some new books. There are a lot of LGBTQ+ books out there and a lot of them get a lot of attention on BookTube. There are so many amazing ones. A lot of the LGBTQ+ books that we hear about here on BookTube, a lot of those genres are young adult. Don't get me wrong, I love all of the popular books like Red, White and Royal Blue. They both die at the end. Everyone knows these books and I absolutely love them. However, my absolute favourite LGBTQ+ book, I was actually torn between two, but this is absolutely my favourite and I've mentioned it on my channel so many times, and it's actually a historical fiction. Historical fiction is my favourite genre, and this is The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boy. I do have my own copy, however it is currently with my sister because I always lend it out to people because I love it so much. It is a historical fiction. It starts in Ireland. Basically we follow the life of the main character who's born in Ireland. As he grows up, he has a very challenging childhood and he grows up as we go through his life and how he goes through life as an Irishman in Ireland as a gay man. He travels all over the world, so he comes to England, he comes to London, he goes to Amsterdam, New York, he lives all over the world at various times of his life and he faces a lot of various challenges because of who he is. It's a very long book, it's about 800 pages, but it is totally worth it. The emotions of this book I can hardly even put into words. It is definitely an emotional roller coaster. If you have read this book, do let me know down in Jazz's comments below. If you have read this book, head over to my channel. I talk about it so much and let me know. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!
Hi, I'm Mel from Mel.theravengirl, and the book that I would like to recommend is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amel El-Motar and Max Gladstone. This is a female-female romance following two women from two different versions of the future, and they work for agencies where it's their job to go back in time to certain events and make sure those events happen in a very specific way so their future is the one that happens. These women are on two opposing sides and they end up writing letters to each other, taunting each other throughout time, and they develop a rivalry and then a romance. This book is one of the best romances that I've ever read. It truly explores like intimacy in a relationship, what it is to really know someone in a very like deep level to like the core. It is one of the best romances that I've ever read and I am an avid romance reader. It's honestly such a beautiful and unique story, and it's one of those books that I couldn't recommend it to a very specific reader. It's one of those books you either get it or you don't, so if it sounds like something interesting to you, I would highly recommend picking it up. It's super short, it's super unique, beautifully written, and is one of my favourite books of all time.
Hi, my name is Star. I am Little Miss Star 55 over on Instagram and on WordPress. When Jazz reached out on her Instagram stories to see if she had any followers who wanted to recommend underrated LGBTQ books, I couldn't pass up the opportunity, especially when it was an opportunity to talk about one of my all-time favourite books that I think like me and 6 other people have read. It's highly underrated and I love this book so much. If you know me at all, you will know that this book I'm talking about is Tell Me How You Really Feel by Amina May Safi. This book is apart from the fact it has an amazing cover, it is an enemies to friends to lovers book. It's quite short. You could probably get it read in one day if you like persisted like I did, and it is so swoon worthy. I loved it. I was immediately hooked from start to finish, and I honestly couldn't pass up the opportunity to talk about this book. It's incredible, it's so well written, and honestly I'm due for a reread. It's one of my all-time favourite books and I cannot recommend this book enough. Thanks for having me, Jazz. Bye!
Everyone, everyone, my name is Lily and my channel is Lily Eleanor Reads. I identify as queer and my pronouns are she, her. The book I want to recommend to you all comes from one of my favourite authors of all time, and that is When the Moon Was Ours by Anne-Marie McLemore. I love this author so much. I've read most of their books, but this is my particular favourite. It was the first book I read and it is the one that has just stayed with me. So this is a queer fairy tale that has a lot of magical realism in it. At the centre of the story is a queer Latinx girl who can grow roses from her wrist, and there is a trans Pakistani boy who hangs moons around the town for the girl that he loves, and these two characters love each other and are basically trying to figure out their relationship and also their identities. But there are these sisters in the town that have sinister intentions towards them and are trying to expose them for who they really are. It's just a beautiful story of accepting yourself and belonging and love, and it's just a really wonderful fairy tale-esque story. So if you like kind of whimsical reads, if you like magical realism, if you like fairy tale retellings or just kind of fairy tale-esque stories in general, then I think you would really love this. And I just wanted to highlight this book here today because I think it is beautiful. It is one of my favourite books of all time and I just really want more people to read it.
Hi friends, my name is Joel and I run the booktube channel called Fictional Fates, which I started roughly about a month ago now, and I'm just super excited to be partaking in this collab with everyone. I am a bisexual boy that comes from Wales in the United Kingdom, and yeah, I'm just super excited to be sharing a Pride read pick with everyone, to which I'm gonna choose Asia Monet's The Black Veins, which I did discuss in my Black Booktuber tag, but I also wanted to give it a bit of more of a spotlight here because this book is just amazing. To reference what I said in that video, this book is like the Adventure Zone on crack. This has a really nice family aspect, and this story is all about friendship and family rather than romance, which I feel like is much needed in what young adult literature these days. And I think that stories more focused on friendship is something that we really should strive to find and enjoy as well. And I just love all of the Guardians so much, and I highly recommend this book for anyone that wants to read it because this has a fantabulous cast of queer characters and people of colour, and it's just such an amazing pick. And yeah, thank you. And if you want to go check me out, you can do so over on my channel. And I'm just super excited to see what everyone else has picked for their Pride book picks as well. So yeah, thank you.
Hi friends, my name is Rori and I'm RoriD Reads. The book I wanted to talk about is A Gay Teen's Guide to Defeating a Siren by Cody Wagner. This is the second book in the series, and look at the cover, it's so pretty. I like this book a lot. It's one of my favorite series and it deserves so much more hype than it actually gets. Barely anyone knows about it. This story is literally taking the concept of, hey, what if all of those gay conversion camps in schools are just like a front? What if, like, they say they're converting the kids, but in all actuality it's really a haven for gay people, like where they can live until, you know, they become 18 and go out in the real world and become fully functioning adults who happen to be queer. And it's so good. The main character, Blaze, accidentally outs himself to his parents, and he goes to the school thinking that it's going to be the worst thing, and then they drop the bombshell on the first day. And it tells the story of him existing at the school, but along with that there is a mysterious siren that is using people in order to kind of go against queer people. So like the siren uses straight people and then makes them anti-gay for like protests and things in order to beat people and take power, and it's great. Highly recommend it.
Hey guys, my name is Mollie and my YouTube channel is @mindofmollie. I identify as a lesbian, and the book that I want to talk about today is Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World. I've actually only recently read this, like I literally finished it yesterday, but I sent a message to Jazz and I was just like, this is incredible. I was bawling my eyes out. It's all about Ivy Aberdeen, who is a 12-year-old girl, and her house is destroyed in a tornado, and everything she owns is gone, and the only thing she saves is a notebook where she keeps drawings that she's done of girls holding hands, and she's keeping it a massive secret. But then that notebook gets stolen, and it's all about Ivy trying to get that notebook back because she's being sort of blackmailed by the person who's taken them, leaving her drawings in her locker. And it's just a really amazing self-discovery book about Ivy trying to find her way and understand what's going on and her feelings. And she's got this amazing support by a woman called Robin, who is literally my favourite person in this entire book. She's incredible and I just love it. I definitely think it's underrated because it's not something I heard about until I stumbled across it one day on Amazon, and it wasn't until I read it that I've heard a couple of people talking about it. But again, I still think it's massively underhyped and it definitely deserves some more love.
Hey everyone, it's Chris. I want to talk about Everything Begins and Ends at the Kentucky Club by Benjamin Sayans. A lot of people know Benjamin Sayans because of our son Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. The Everything Begins and Ends at the Kentucky Club is a short story collection. It's not something people go for very often, but it also centers around queer experiences for the most part in most of the stories. It's a lot darker than our son Dante. It spans a lot of different topics: love, depression, hate crimes, suicide, and other things over the course of these stories. But all of these stories individually were 4 or 5 stars for me, and this is by far my best short story collection that I've read up to now, and just one that I think a lot of people should try out even if you're not a person who does short stories very often, to attempt it and see if there's some pieces here that really stick out and connect for you. And all the stories are connected by one location, essentially the Kentucky Club, and yeah, they're great.
Hi guys, my name's Celest and I have a channel called The World of Reading. Today I'm going to talk about a book I think needs a lot more love. And this book is The Music of What Happens by Bill Koningsberg. This is a book with a male-male romance. I think they're both gay, and I think this author in general needs a lot more love. And this story is about Max and Jordan. Max, he's a sporty guy. He likes sports. He's a rough kind of guy. And then you have Jordan, who's opposite. He likes poetry. He's soft. And Jordan has a mom who's kind of losing it, and after his dad died. And his mom and Jordan are putting up his dad's old food truck, Cocovini. And the first day it's opened, he meets Max and they go work. Max works with him on the food truck, and you see them growing together, and you see them loving cooking and figuring out how to cook even. And I love this book because it shows that gay or any LGBTQ doesn't fit in one stereo. Like, they're both 2 different people. And Max is a boy you wouldn't see he was gay, but you can't assume which identity someone takes and which sexuality someone takes. So that's why I love it so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Sasha. My channel's name is The Wild Sasha. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. I was asked by Chess Diamond to suggest you one queer book that has flown under the radar or that no one is talking about anymore, and that I feel like it should get some love from the community. So I don't have the book, the physical copy of the book I'm gonna talk about, because I read it like 2 years ago, whatever, and I didn't have a job, so I got the ebook of it, and I'm planning on getting the physical copy because I fell in love with it. And this is Heart of Iron. Obviously you cannot see it properly, but here it is. It's a sci-fi YA. So this book qualifies as queer because you have LGBTQA+ characters in it. There are some characters you're gonna fall in love with because they're just amazing, but you know, it's an Anastasia retelling and it's a space opera kind of thing. It happens in space. Obviously there is a space piracy kind of both, whatever, and the vibes of that entire book is amazing. It's very fast-paced. Basically what's gonna happen in the very beginning is that boat full of pirates, they're gonna find Anna drifting into space with her robot DO3, and they're gonna welcome her in the boat and they're gonna basically become their family. So everything in that book is powerful because yes, it's fast-paced, there is a lot of action, etc., but it's so much more than that. It's about who you really are, who you can trust. Your family has to be blood related to you, or you can make someone a part of your family. Friendship, love, it's about so many things. Yeah, I loved it. I know I'm addicted to anything that has to do with Anastasia or Russian folk or whatever, but this one is a bit different. It's less historical. It's really like sci-fi YA. It's really like, it's a fiction that actually made me realize how much I missed reading sci-fi books. So hopefully you will give it a try. I know I'm not supposed to suggest more than one book, but when no one is watching, keep your eyes open for these ones. If you see them, just pick them up. Yeah, that's it for now, I think. So happy reading to you, and thank you for asking me to be a part of this video. Bye everyone, take care, love you.
And that's it. We have come to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found a new book that you'd really like to read. Thank you once again to everyone that took part in this video collab, this two-part video collab. And thank you to everyone that wanted to and couldn't quite get it in time and things like that. Like, I still appreciate you. I appreciate the enthusiasm for this project, and I hope that you found a book. I really do. Please let me know if you end up reading any of these. And to you watching, please leave a book recommendation below to an underhyped LGBTQ+ book. We love to see it. I don't know what that was, I'm so sorry. If you'd be interested in seeing another kind of collab like this, also please let me know. This is really fun to put together, and I hope that it's a good resource for people to come to if they're like, I don't know what to read. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a new video. Bye!